What's up, guys? Mason the Brock Henderson here, and this is NCIS Season 18, Episode 15, Blown Away. So, probably the best episode in a while, just because wasn't a whole lot of stupid stuff going on, and it was okay overall. The stuff with Gibbs, kind of interested to see more about it, about the serial killer that he seems to be tracking down with this reporter lady. And I had forgotten that she gave him the file, which is why in the last video I totally forgot why he would be looking at the body of a woman. But yeah, I don't know. I'm curious to see, is that going to play into the final episode for this season, or is that going to be something for next season? Who knows? But as far as the case in this episode, I thought it was pretty interesting seeing how it started. Honestly, it seemed like a routine. Okay, well, we got this case, and all of a sudden explosion, and yeah, it set up for a pretty solid mystery overall. Granted, I did suspect it was probably going to be the team leader in the end of it. So I guess maybe I'm just really used to the NCIS formula, so I was expecting him to be the bad guy. And also, I think it was a little odd that nobody seemed to think at any point maybe they were trying to blow up the team itself. Everybody just assumed, oh yeah, they're trying to take out the guy that they were trying to talk down. I don't know. I get why that was a thought, but at the same time, nobody seemed to ask that question until they found the guy who was killed in his camper or RV or whatever it was. That was the point where it's like, oh, they're trying to kill the team. I'm like, that should have already been a suspected thought. If you're thinking about, okay, are they trying to blow up that guy or are they trying to blow up the team? It was an anonymous tip, so there's a chance it could be. It's just a little weird that nobody thought about that. But yeah, overall, I thought it was fine. It seems like this new girl Jess, which I know her as Nissa Al Ghul from the Arrowverse, so it's a little weird to see her in a much more realistic show. So it seems like she might be joining the team, possibly. I know she's in this next episode as well, because I can see the picture on Paramount Plus. She's standing next to Torres there, so I don't know if she's going to become a new team member. Maybe it's going to be, going into next season. I guess Gibbs isn't going to be coming back, possibly. I don't know. I don't know what to expect. I think it's stupid if he doesn't come back, because the whole idea that he's permanently off the team because he attacked a guy who was killing dogs is just stupid to me. But if that is the case, then it'll probably end up being where McGee takes over the Gibbs role. They're already showing that he has some of those qualities starting to come into his daily life from taking over that role. And so it would be he's the team lead with Torres, Bishop, and I forget her last name. I know they were calling her Jess at the end, but I'm assuming they'll probably know her by her last name soon. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to expect. I am kind of looking forward to the end of the season just to see what are they setting up for season 19. Which, yeah, some of the storylines in this season have obviously made me feel like they should have stopped already. Like, going into season 17, 18 was already kind of ridiculous numbers-wise, but now you're going into some of these storylines that are just so dumb and so stupid that all I'm thinking is, what, did the writing team just get sick of it, but the producers were like, no, we still got more, so just bring in some random people off the street and see if they can do some better jobs. They cannot, let me tell you, but I don't know. I'll be, I guess, slightly curious, a little bit of morbid curiosity, looking forward to seeing what they plan on doing going into next season, but we'll see. But that's it for this one. On to the finale. I'll begrudgingly see you there. And now episode 16, the season finale, Rule 91. So definitely leaves with a lot more questions than answers, of course setting up for the next season, so I will admit it does have me wanting to go ahead and watch the next season, but I'm not going to. Because if I've learned anything from this season, it's that you shouldn't hold on to that feeling of, ooh, I want to see more, because most of the time that feeling will end after a couple episodes, and then they'll just sort of twiddle their thumbs and deliver crap storylines until eventually we get back to, ooh, this is more exciting, isn't it? So, yeah, this episode was better, but how long is this feeling going to last? Probably not long. But yeah, I do have a lot of questions, though. It does sort of feel like the case in this episode was a lot more under the radar, which is kind of the point. It was meant to sort of throw us off the trail a little bit, because we see them taking down these arms dealers, but there's also this NSA file, and it's like, ooh, well, did they have some information that Ellie linked to them? But ultimately, I guess that was the arms dealers were just sort of there. They just were sort of the distraction. But yeah, so the two main stories, which are of course Gibbs, which we don't really get a whole lot of plot moving forward in this one. Well, actually, do we? I can't remember now if he found out about the bugs in this episode or if it was the episode before. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on which episode that was now, because some of these episodes just sort of mix together. But I guess we do sort of see he's clearly setting something up. I'm guessing he probably knew about the bomb, or I don't know, set it there himself to make people think he's dead, so that way he could track the serial killer from beyond the grave. I don't know. I don't know exactly what is going on there. Clearly, though, he and this other woman, Marcy, they're both being watched. They're both being bugged. So, don't know how that happened. The idea that somebody could sneak into Gibbs's house and bug him is kind of... I mean, it does set up for what's probably going to be an interesting villain, to think that, holy crap, somebody was able to possibly get the better of Gibbs. He did mention somebody seemed to be following him, so we didn't ever really see that, but I guess he's just that good where he can see things even if we can't. But yeah, I will be curious to find out more about that and find out, do we know whoever it is that's doing it, or is this just going to be something that we get introduced to a new character, and we'll find that out next season. The stuff with Ellie, I'm interested, but I'm also not, because on the one hand, it has been kind of interesting to see her training with Odette and all this stuff, although we haven't gotten a whole lot of that. We've just gotten little glimpses here and there, like the one comment that Nick threw away, which I vaguely remember him saying something about her acing the firearms exam. I think that was like a few episodes ago. So I guess we have been seeing like these little changes here and there in her and her demeanor, but I guess this was ultimately what it was all building up to, where she has to essentially disgrace herself as an NCIS agent, make it seem like she's dirty, so that way she can go undercover in some secret organization, I'm guessing. Which, on the one hand, I'm like, okay, that sounds pretty cool, but on the other hand, one, it leads to, of course, Ellie and Nick finally having their real talk, because they had the talk on the elevator, and I guess she was just... We never really heard the full conversation, but I guess what happened was she sort of said, no, I don't, I prefer we just stay friends, when in reality, that's not what she really wanted. So they do share their kiss at the end of this one. It's all like, oh my gosh, they deserve each other. And I'm just sitting here going, I don't feel any of this. So on that hand, I'm not that interested. And then also, it does sort of feel like, I guess this means Bishop's off the team, which... Does that mean next season we're just going to be stuck with kind of the same team dynamic where we've got Gibbs, McGee, and then we've got Knight and Torres? Or is Gibbs just not coming back ever? Because, like he says, Rule 91, don't ever look back. So is he just done with the team entirely? Or I don't know what. I don't really know what to expect with him for next season. But it does... I don't know. We've had this team dynamic for so long. We've had little variations in it. Like we had, what's his name? I think it was Clayton, the British guy that was involved for a little bit that died protecting Abby. He was kind of on the team, but he was sort of on the side. Like he had that desk behind them, and he only showed up every now and then. He wasn't really a part of the team. But it just feels like it's the same team dynamic where it's been for a while, where it's been Gibbs, McGee, and then Guy Girl. And I thought it would have been interesting where McGee sort of takes the Gibbs role. Bishop almost takes the McGee role in that she's been here for the longest, and then it's Torres and Knight. And obviously, it's this weird thing where Tony and Ziva sort of became Ellie and Torres, so it was kind of weird in that sense. But essentially this feeling of, okay, you've got the leader, you've got the veteran who's been here for a while, and then you've got the two sort of wild dogs almost, the ones that maybe go on their own a little bit, need to learn the ways of the team, which I'm guessing Knight will be that character for next season. But now I don't know. I just feel like the team is sort of, you're losing Bishop, but we're getting Knight. So you just basically swapped female out, female in. And I just wanted a little bit of a switch up on the team, a little bit more dynamism, I guess. So I'm disappointed in that as well. But I don't know. Because this show has become so formulaic, I wanted to see a little bit of a change from the formula. And I feel like we're just sort of getting the same. Now, that being said, obviously, Knight is coming in. She's already been a part of NCIS for a while. So I guess that's a little bit different. It's an agent sort of switching over from another team to join the Gibbs team. So obviously, though, there will still be the same jokes where she's not used to working under Gibbs. I'm assuming if he ends up coming back, we'll still, jury's still out on whether or not that's going to happen. But I'm guessing she'll have to get used to working with the team. There'll be those little jokes thrown in where it's like, does he always do that? And all of that stuff. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm curious for answers, I guess. But at the same time, I'm also a little hesitant to get my hopes too high because, like I said, I started off this season with high hopes for what we were going to see. I was excited to see more about this story of what was going on behind the scenes last season, what was going on with Fornell, all of this stuff. I was like, I'm excited for this. So then, after all that ended, about 5-6 episodes in, and suddenly it was just all sort of crap, just not really much going on. The whole story, obviously, I've made my feelings clear about how I feel about Gibbs' suspension. Probably the stupidest storyline in NCIS history and TV history because it makes no sense. It doesn't match up with how people would react in real life. Again, the suspension I would kind of see because of what he did, but people's reaction to finding out he attacked a dog killer, that's not real. That's not real life. If, for instance, just another good example, a father goes and kills a man who, did something awful to his kids, like abused his kids or anything along those lines. That dad is not seen as some, oh, I can't believe he would do that. No, most of the time it's like, yeah, I would do it too if I were in his shoes. So, again, I just don't get why they thought this was going to be a realistic storyline and one that people, I guess, would understand. Like, I don't know if we as the audience were supposed to feel like, no, this is stupid and everything they're doing is wrong, or if we're supposed to feel like, yeah, Gibbs, I can't believe you would attack him, man. I still like Gibbs, but man, can you believe you just went off and attacked that man? Like, no, all of us should understand that feeling. No matter whether you've owned a pet or not, I feel like if you have loved something enough, like an animal, like a dog, or anything along those lines, and somebody did something to harm that animal or that person, you would have the same reaction. So that storyline just didn't hit at all, and it just made me feel like the writers were writing in a completely different reality than what our reality is. So, but that was probably the biggest takeaway from this season, which is unfortunate because, again, I thought it started pretty well, but that definitely took up way too much time and had too many moments where I feel like it just didn't make any sense and it made me frustrated. And I don't remember this show being this frustrating. I don't remember having these many moments throughout this 18 season span of watching the show. I don't remember having these many moments of going, God, that was dumb. That was next level stupid. So we'll see what happens next season. I'm probably not going to watch it for a little while. I do want to move on to another show. So I think next up I'm going to watch 2 seasons of Bull to catch up on that a little bit. And then after that, I don't know. I've got a few, like Walking Dead, Fargo, Legion. I've got a few different shows that I'm thinking about trying to finish up or catch up on. So we'll see what comes next, but that's it for me. So let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. What were your thoughts on these final 2 episodes and the season as a whole? Let me know. We can talk about and discuss all that good stuff. Leave a like and subscribe for future NCIS reviews, and I'll see you guys at the next season, whatever that is. Peace out.